What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video, and today I got a brand new spicy deck for you. Well, kind of brand new. So if you watch my previous video on my Sandman and Ronin deck, you know I use that deck to reach infinite. If you have not seen that video or don't know what deck I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and leave a link to that video in the description down below. Go ahead and check that out. But that deck utilized Sandman and Ronin in a very unique way that helped me get to infinite, and it counters a lot of decks that like to play a lot of cards on turns 5 and 6, such as like Sarah decks and Mr. Negative decks. And when Zabu came out, I was experimenting with a bunch of different decks with him. I also have another video on 3 other decks I put together with Zabu. If you want to check that out, there'll also be a link for that as well. But I wanted to, again, try something different, right? I was like, how can I incorporate Zabu into my Sandman deck? Because I'm starting to see people be like, oh, you're either playing Zabu or you're playing Sandman to counter Zabu. So I'm starting to see more people play Sandman. And you know what? I thought of something crazy. I was like, instead of playing Zabu or Sandman, why don't we play both? And this is the result that I came up with. It's pretty similar to the other deck that has Sandman and Ronin in it, with a few substitutions, and the end result is pretty solid. I gotta say, I was pretty impressed with how it is. So at the time of recording, since I hit infinite last season, I ranked down to rank 70, and I'm rank 78 at the moment. I haven't been try-harding too much, as the beginning of the season I like to kind of just experiment with new decks and new cards a little bit, and then I'll try hard more to like the middle towards the end of the season. But so far, I have been definitely winning pretty consistently with this deck. It has a lot of win conditions to it, and I think that you probably could take this deck to infinite. I mean, my deck had Sandman and Ronin in it. No one plays Ronin. I took Ronin to infinite. So I'm pretty sure you can take this deck to infinite as well. So let's go ahead and get into the deck. So you'll notice that this deck is very similar to my previous list, but now we have the addition of Zabu. Zabu is the newest season pass card. 3 energy for 2 power. Ongoing ability, your 4 cost cards cost 2 less to a minimum of 1. And I have dubbed this deck with the name Sandcat, because it utilizes Sandman and Zabu, which is basically just a big cat. But the premise is the same as my previous deck. This deck is one that likes to get a lot of tempo on the board early on in turns 1 to 3. That way, when we play Sandman on turn 4, it doesn't feel as bad because he's only 1 power, right? So it is a very slow tempo play. It's almost like you're playing nothing on turn 4, but we play really big cards in the earlier turns to make up for that tempo loss. So we have cards such as Sunspot to make use of any unspent energy. We have Zero in this deck, which 3 power for 1 energy is really good stats, but Zero also combines well with Ebony Maw, Attuma, and Red Skull, and sometimes Lizard, but usually want to use him on one of these other 3 options here. Ebony Maw is just such a powerful 1 cost card. 7 power for 1 cost, really insane. But he has a huge downside. You can't play this after turn 3, and an ongoing effect, you can't play cards here. Ebony Maw is a really good target for Zero to get some early points on the board, and you can still fit some power into his lane if you cancel out his effect, or sometimes you don't cancel out his effect, and you can still slot in power into his lane with a 5 power Doombot. So 12 power in one lane with Ebony Maw plus a Doombot is still a lot of power. We have armor to not only protect our 1 cost cards, but it also protects our big cards from Shang-Chi and also counters destroyed decks. Then we have Lizard, which is just another early game tempo card, 2 for 5. Can't really beat that. Then Zabu. Zabu, we want to play on 3. He's actually our only 3 cost card here. So Zabu, we want to play on 3. That allows us to play 2 4 cost cards on turn 4. Now, the reason that this is such a big deal is because now, with the addition of Zabu, we can play Sandman plus one of our other 4-cost options. So that gives us way more tempo on turn 4 than we previously would have with just playing Sandman on turn 4. So we can play Sandman plus Rescue, Sandman plus White Queen, or Sandman plus Attuma. Or sometimes, depending on what deck your opponent is playing, let's say they're playing Ongoing Destroyer, which that deck usually plays 1 card per turn anyways. You just don't play Sandman then. Then you play Rescue plus White Queen plus Attuma, whatever, etc., etc. But Zabu really makes for an explosive turn 4, which I really, really like in his deck list. Sandman is such an underrated card. I think people are really starting to see the value in him now, especially with Zabu coming out, since people are running Sandman to counter Zabu. The thing with Sandman is he just shuts down so many different decks. Like I mentioned earlier, Mr. Negative decks, Sarah decks, Silver Surfer decks, just decks that like to play a lot of cards. Sandman is just, it's just an auto win. Like, seriously, like if you see them play Mr. Negative and I'm playing Sandman, like I just snap instantly. Like it's just a guaranteed win. Then at the 4-cost option here, we got a few different options here. We have Rescue. Rescue is just another good value card that is 4 cost. So 4 cost 4 power on reveal if you play a card here next turn, plus 5 power. Only downside really, well, I guess there's a couple downsides. One, it makes your opponent predict where you're going to play your next card, since you have to play it on Rescue's location to get that buff. But it also puts her in Shang-Chi range. But again, that's why we have armor. And we have multiple big units in here with Rescue, Attuma, and Red Skull. So try and spread them out across all 3 lanes. That way they don't all get hit by Shang-Chi. Then we have White Queen. White Queen is a really good card. I really like White Queen, and I really like this variant too. She's another 4-cost card for 6 power. On reveal, draw a copy of the highest cost card in your opponent's hand. So not only does White Queen give us information on what our opponent might be playing, but she also gives us an alternate win condition instead of maybe Dr. Doom or Red Skull for the last turn. Then we have Attuma. Attuma is another card that I believe is highly underrated. It could be because he's a Series 4 card and not a lot of people have him. I actually got lucky and pulled him from a collector's reserve a while ago. But he is 4 cost, 10 power. If you have another card here at the end of your turn, destroy this. So basically, if you have another card in his location, he's going to destroy himself, but we can cancel out his ability with a couple of different ways. First option being play an armor on top of Attuma, he will not be able to destroy himself, or the second option is to play 0 and just cancel out his effect. So since we put more 4-cost cards in this deck, we don't run Taskmaster. I really do miss Taskmaster. He's in the previous version of this deck, and sometimes I kind of miss him, but playing only 3 4-cost cards felt kind of awkward. I really wanted to get more value out of Zabu, so I went ahead and ended up with 4 4-cost cards, and so far that has been working for me so far. I think it's a really good ratio, but sometimes I do miss Taskmaster if I'm being honest. Next up, we have Red Skull. Red Skull is 5 cost, 15 power, has a negative ongoing effect. Enemy cards of this location have plus 2 power. So a really good ideal target to cancel out with your 0, or sometimes your opponent might just not play a lot of cards in one location and you can just play Red Skull without canceling his effect and he'll still be good. And then we have Dr. Doom as our primary finisher. He is 6 energy for 5 power. On reveal, add a 5 power Doombot to each other location. So the reason I really like Dr. Doom in this list is, like I mentioned earlier, you can slot in a Doombot into your Ebony Maw lane for additional power. But with Sandman as well, if we have Sandman on the board, we can only play 1 card per turn, right? But Dr. Doom has us covered in all 3 locations. So we can play Sandman on turn 4, Dr. Doom on turn 6 to really spread our power across all 3 lanes, and that is just such huge value. So what are some replacements for these cards if you don't have them? Zabu, there's not really anything you can replace him for, unfortunately, since his ability is so unique. And then we have Rescue and White Queen. I would say these are probably the 2 most flexible cards at their slot. If you don't have Rescue, you can probably just put in something else, like maybe Jessica Jones. You could put in Drax. You could put in Typhoid Mary. And then if you put in Typhoid Mary, maybe you take out either White Queen or Attuma for Enchantress. I did try Enchantress in this deck, and she did work sometimes, but sometimes it feels awkward to have her because you have some ongoing effects in your deck that you don't want to cancel with Armor and Zabu. So you can try Enchantress, but sometimes it felt a little bit awkward. You can also put in Shang-Chi for a tech card if you don't have Rescue. So yeah, if you don't have Rescue or Attuma, I would just suggest subbing in any other high-value 4-cost card. You can maybe even put in Crossbones if you have him. I don't have Crossbones, unfortunately. But yeah, one of those options would be fine. Red Skull is a really unique card that I don't think you can really replace him, but maybe you could do Taskmaster actually to copy either the Attuma or the Rescue. I personally really like Red Skull here. And then Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is one of those cards that's really hard to replace. I think if you don't have Doctor Doom, you can maybe try Arnim Zola, but I really don't think it'll work as well as Doctor Doom. Arnim Zola will destroy a copy of a card, so you want to try and hit a high cost or high power card like Red Skull or Attuma, and then put him in the other lanes. But I feel like that doesn't really work as well as Doctor Doom, and it can be awkward since you run Armor in this deck, so you might block yourself out of your own Arnim Zola. It's just a little awkward. So those are the card replacements, but so far this deck is pretty dang solid. Oh, and then Zero as well. Zero is a hard one to replace, honestly. If you don't have Zero, I don't know if I would actually recommend playing this list because he really ties everything all together. There are just so many different win conditions in this deck, and even though Zero is just a 1-cost card, he's just one card in the deck, he is so important because he cancels out the abilities of Ebony Maw, Attuma, Red Skull. So if you don't have Zero, I'm not exactly sure if I would recommend playing this list, but that is it. And I'll put the deck code for this deck down in the description below. Let's go ahead and get into some games with this bad boy. So first game up here, we got no play on turn 1, which is totally fine. I actually don't really like to play anything on turn 1, sometimes Sunspot. Now we do have Ebony Maw and we have our Lizard. We got to make sure we play our Ebony Maw before turn 3. Now, Ebony Maw, I usually like to save for turn 3, actually. I like to save him as late as possible, just so I can see all the revealed locations. I'm going to go ahead and put my Lizard in the Baxter building for now. And he's playing Psylocke, so if he's ramping into a Mr. Negative deck, we really want to draw our Sandman. Now here, our hand is a little bit awkward. If we had Zabu or Sandman, I'd be feeling kind of better here. I could play my Ebony Maw. I think I'm going to play Ebony Maw in the left lane, actually. And it's a Brood coming out, so you essentially didn't make use of that extra energy. We do draw the Zabu now, so I think I do want to play Zabu. Now, do I want to play him in the right, the middle? I think I'm going to play him on the right lane, actually. And it's an Iron Heart, so I'm thinking this is probably a Silver Surfer deck. Ooh, now this is a spicy hand here. So we have a few different things we can do, but I think our best line of play is we zero into the Attuma, and then we play a White Queen to give us some information, as well as maybe give us an alternate win condition. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Zero in Nidavellir, then we're going to play Attuma in the middle, and I think I'm going to play White Queen in the middle as well, actually. So let's see what White Queen pulls us. She's going to give us a Mr. Negative, so it is a negative deck, and he pulls out a Magic, okay. Magic. I guess he drew him kind of late then, that's probably why he didn't play him earlier. Now, we didn't draw our Sandman, unfortunately. Like, if we drew Sandman, this is just, like, game over. So far, we're still in a pretty good spot. I think I might just want to play my Doctor Doom, but he's kind of like my trump card, right? I don't know if I want to show him right away. But then again, Red Skull here in Nidavellir. Might just get Shang-Chi'd. I could play Armor as well. Let's go ahead and play our Doctor Doom. We'll play our Doctor Doom first. Rogue. Oh, man. So if I played Red Skull, that would have been... oh my god. If I played Red Skull, that would have been hilarious. That would have been hilarious. And of course, we draw the Sandman, but it's way too late. So we only have one spot to play here, essentially. The question is, do I think he's playing Shang-Chi or not? Because if I think he's playing Shang-Chi, then I just put armor down. But if I don't think he's playing Shang-Chi, then I play Red Skull. I think I'm going to go the safer option and just put armor down, just so we can be a little bit more safe. And maybe I could have snapped this game as well, since we were honestly winning like the whole game. I probably should have snapped earlier. So that is an easy dub right there. Ooh, we got the Tinkerer's Workshop. So we get 2 energy here. I don't know the other 2 locations. I definitely want to make use of this energy, so I want to play either my armor or my lizard. I think I'm going to play the lizard for now. And he's going to play a Nova and a Deadpool. Okay, so we definitely want to be playing armor on this location now. So we definitely play armor. Do I want to snap, though? I feel like snapping makes it too obvious that I have armor. Plus, I've gotten in the habit of trying not to snap until at least turn 3. That way I can at least see all the locations. There may be some specific scenarios where I snap earlier and we deny a Carnage, which is huge. I'm going to go ahead and snap now, actually, now that we know what all the locations are, and we just absolutely countered his Carnage. We can play Zabu. He plays nothing, so I think I really screwed up his plans here. I like this. I like this. We got Attuma and we got Sunspot. Okay, he's just going to retreat. Oh, man. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. This deck is it, man. This is it. So now we're at rank 79. Hopefully we can get to rank 80 during this recording. I would be pretty happy with that. So we're going to go ahead and get Mojo World. Looking at my hand looks pretty good, actually. We can play armor into Mojo World. Next turn, we can play Zabu, allowing us to play Rescue and Attuma in the same turn. And they play armor as well with that sweet Chibi variant. Dude, I have like 600 armor boosters, and I'm saving them all to get this Chibi variant, but I have not found it yet. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll play our Zabu. Now, where do I want to play him exactly? I think I'm going to play Zabu in the middle. And then next turn, we're going to play Attuma in the middle as well. Gets protected by armor, right? And then we could play Rescue on the right, because turn 5, all cards must be played here anyways. So that makes sense to me. Oh, and we drew our White Queen as well, which is just beautiful. I'm going to snap back on this guy because we got a really good hand here. I could even maybe try and be a little sneaky and like just throw a Attuma in here into Hala, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna play him in the middle here, like I said, Mojo World, so he's protected by armor, and then we play Rescue here since all cards have to be played here this turn anyways. All right, let's see what you got. So he's got a Goose, sure, and a Lizard. Huh, interesting deck. I wonder if maybe it's like an ongoing deck, because he is playing a lot of ongoing cards, but the Okoye is a little weird to me. I could play Zero here, and then we Red Skull next turn. Do I want to play Zero? Because I don't know what I'm drawing. I don't think I want to play Zero, actually, because I don't know what I'm going to draw next turn, right? I could potentially draw Dr. Doom, and I don't want to zero out my Dr. Doom, right? So I'm going to hold on to Zero, and we'll just play Lizard and White Queen for now. And it's a Nakia? Okay, yeah, this guy's playing a weird deck then. This guy's playing a weird deck. I don't think he should have snapped on me. Oh, a Taskmaster. That actually would have been good for us if we played our Red Skull last turn. And we get our Sandman, but we get him at the last turn, which he's essentially useless. This is an easy AQ game if he doesn't retreat. We play Zero in the middle. And then we play Red Skull, zeroed out on the left. There's no way he can beat me. Absolutely no way. This guy did not retreat. This guy did not retreat. What are you doing? My guy. My guy, what are you doing? Oh my god. Okay, maybe we are gonna get to rank 80 after all. Jeez. That was just a poor, very poor play by my opponent, if I'm being honest, man. I had to switch my icon to Sandman because I feel like it fits the theme more, even though I do love the chibi Spider-Man as well. Ooh, so we got Elysium. Ooh, this is spicy. We got Elysium, so we essentially got a free 0 here. Now, I do have Attuma and Red Skull in hand, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Armor in the middle. I'm going to hang on to my 0, and we'll save him for our Red Skull. And he's playing a Colossus. Colossus usually signifies a ongoing deck. No Zabu. Zabu would have been pretty insane. Cost reduction on top of Elysium, but I think that's fine. We'll just go ahead and throw Attuma in the armor lane. Oh, we can also throw 0 down actually as well. So yeah, let's play Attuma, and we can play 0 because next turn we can play Red Skull. I think I'm going to play 0 in the left, and then I think I'm just going to avoid the Danger Room because we can actually just put a Doombot in there anyways. Oh, Sandman. Okay, so we're going against another Sandman gamer. I love it. I love it. Okay. I don't think I've ever played against another Sandman gamer before. I respect it, dude. I respect the hustle. But too bad for him. I'm playing a Sandman deck too. Oh, Professor X. Okay, that's kind of spicy. That's a good play. That's a good play. I like that. We still could do Doctor Doom. And as a matter of fact, it might still be good anyways to play him. Even though we can't put a Doombot into the Danger Room, we're still putting 5 points across both boards here. So I think let's go ahead and do that. As long as we don't get Shang-Chi, I think we're fine. It's a Destroyer. Okay, so he's going to destroy his Sandman? Weird, okay. So it's an ongoing Destroyer list with Sandman in it. I think we can win this game anyways. So let's play our White Queen here. And let's play our actually the Rescue is going to be the most power. So White Queen and Rescue are the most power here. Okay, so let's play our White Queen. What do we get? We get a Spectrum. So he had Spectrum in hand, but he decided not to play it. Let's see what he plays instead. A Warpath. Win an Ant-Man. Did this gamer actually beat me? Yo, this gamer actually beat me. Okay, so Sandman on Sandman action. He actually beat me. The Professor X won him the game. So yeah, that was actually a really smart play on his part. Because yeah, if I put a Doombot in there, I just win the game. But yeah, wow, good game. All right, so this game here, we got a Nova from our opponent. We do have Ebony Maw, but if he's running Nova, he's probably running Killmonger, so I don't really want to play my Ebony Maw yet unless I draw my armor. Now it's a Sentinel, so Sentinel and a Nova, maybe a Sarah deck. I think we should just go ahead and play our Ebony Maw since we want something on the board. Now, I think I'm going to play it in Eternity Range. That way we give him a rock. Oh, man. So, do I want to play Sandman here? Like, if he is playing a Sarah deck, Sandman is going to be very good. But the problem with playing Sandman right now is I didn't really have good draws for the beginning of the game. So, I just have Ebony Maw on the board, and that's it. And he could potentially get killed by Killmonger. So, I don't know if I actually want to play Sandman here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Lizard here. And I think I'm going to put Armor in the left so he doesn't destroy the Nova. This is a bad hand. This is a really bad hand, to be honest. Like, I got 0, but I got nothing to cancel out, right? Like, I guess, like Sandman, I play Sandman, but then what, you know? Oh, so it is a Sarah deck. Oh man, it's not even gonna matter then. We might still be able to win this. So, okay. So it is a Sarah deck. Do I play the Doctor Doom or the Red Skull? Now, Doctor Doom is good at putting points across all sides of the board. It's gonna deactivate the Atlantis buff, but doesn't even matter because our opponent is going to retreat. But I was gonna say, I don't think it really matters anyways, because the Doom bot is 5 power, and then the armor is 3, so it would still equal 8 powers anyway. So Dr. Doom would probably be the play I would take there if our opponent did not retreat. Okay, we got Nidavellir. I hope I'm saying that right. Maybe I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and throw my Sunspot in there. Blizzard, I think I'll just go ahead and throw into Nidavellir as well. Oh, we got Lamentis 1. I really dislike this location, but we got a good hand, actually. We got Sandman, Zabu. We got Rescue, White Queen. I'm going to Zabu in the left, and I'm going to snap Maximus. And we got no cards in our deck, so Maximus is essentially just free power on the board. I could play maybe like Rescue White Queen to try and Hala to try and destroy his Maximus, but that's a little bit risky. I'm not exactly sure if I want to do that. I think what we're going to do is... I'm going to White Queen, and then I'm going to play Sandman on the right. And let's see what he's got. He's got a leader. Oh, man, a leader player confirmed. So Enchantress is going to deactivate our Zabu, but that's actually fine since the only other 4-cost card we have is Rescue. And it actually deactivates our Lizard, which kind of helps us out. So I'm totally okay with that. Let's go ahead and let's play our Rescue. I'm thinking the middle. And I think we still have enough points to beat Leader here. We play Rescue, and then we play Dr. Doom. There's a Vision. Yeah, we still win this, even against the Leader, so easy money. Dr. Doom onto the Rescue. Let's go. And he retreats. Average Leader player. Am I right? It's all right. Look, don't get mad at people for playing Leader, even though I get tilted a lot. You know, you don't gotta attack people. It's all right. And that is the deck list along with the game. So let me know what you think about this deck. It feels really good. Like I said, it's pretty similar to my last deck I used to get to Infinite. So maybe I'll try and take this one to Infinite as well. A lot of fun. I just really enjoy playing Zero decks. Like, you know, everyone has a personal preference. I don't know. I just really like playing Zero and Sandman. Something is it's just so satisfying when you see like a Sarah or a Mr. Negative come out and you just play Sandman, and I could just imagine the opponent's soul just getting crushed as they hit the escape button, man. Oh man, it is so funny. But anyways, that is the deck list. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you tried it out for yourself or if there's any substitutions you made to try and improve it yourself. And if you haven't joined my Discord already, go ahead and join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. I would love to see you there and chat Marvel Snap with you. Once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.